Hey, welcome in. Well, I have to admit, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that some in the mainstream media, on the left-wing media, are changing their minds. Which it really is shocking. I didn't think they had any shame. Maybe it's not shame, I don't know what it is. But they are now speaking the obvious. I mean, here's Chris Hayes. Kyle Rittenhouse will probably be acquitted. But is this the kind of society we want? So he changes the narrative right away. But in any case, he's admitting the obvious here because he's seen the footage. Again, it's surprising that he would admit the obvious, but how about Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks? She just admitted she was wrong. And from what I've seen of what she said, it doesn't seem like she then tries to turn the narrative. Maybe she has, I don't know. But from what I've seen, she does deserve credit. You have to give people credit when they do the right thing. As she admits that she bought into false Rittenhouse narrative. She said, quote, "Now, what really mattered to me was how all of this unfolded. What was the thing that sparked it? What started all of it? And initially, I was under the assumption that Rittenhouse was the person who was chasing after Joseph Rosenbaum. That's how it started. But I was wrong about that. I was in fact wrong about that. And to show you the evidence to reinforce that I was wrong about that, I want to go to this video." She showed the video. And what's in that? Rosenbaum shouting, "Shoot me," before chasing an unsuspecting Rittenhouse. She says, "So those details matter, right? Who was chasing who matters. The gunshots by some other unidentified person, that matters. Especially if you're Rittenhouse and you're running away, and then you hear shots, and then Rosenbaum lunges at you. Yes, that does matter, but this was all known for a long time. There's been interviews with eyewitnesses at the scene around for a long time. Why didn't she know this? Why hadn't she watched any of the footage previously? That's a different question. But at least in the end, she did the right thing." CNN's Jeffrey Toobin, he admits that Rittenhouse has a case. But of course, he can't just say that. He has to call him an idiot. Let's see. Quote, "What kind of an idiot? 17-year-old gets a giant gun and goes to a riot." Well, I don't know. What kind of an idiot gets a gun and goes to a riot? What about Gage Grosskreutz? Are you calling him an idiot too? Oh, I don't think you're going to do that, are you? Anyway, he said, "This is a tough case for the prosecution because it does seem like he has a plausible case of self-defense." But all of that said, we still have stuff like this. CBS News deletes tweet prematurely convicting Kyle Rittenhouse. They say he murdered 2 men from November 11th, 2021. Here from CBS Mornings, blue checkmark, of course. Kyle Rittenhouse testified in his murder trial yesterday, breaking down in tears as he told the jury he murdered 2 men at a Black Lives Matter protest last year in self-defense. So first off, let's change protest to riot, because that's also incorrect. Is this a mistake? Did somebody just make an innocent mistake? Here you can see the comment above, "Bang up job, guys." I mean, is this incompetence or is it intentional? Well, you can decide. I mean, obviously, this is a lie. This is a straight up lie. This did not happen. He did not say that. He did not say that he murdered 2 men. It is wholly false. And, well, they did delete the tweet, I guess because they lied and everybody said, "You're liars." Now, you might have seen this. This happened on Good Morning America. They interviewed Gage Grosskreutz, who was the one who was shot in the bicep. And he said on that, in fact, he didn't point the gun at Kyle Rittenhouse. At one point, the interviewer asks him, he says, "So you're saying that you didn't point the gun at Kyle Rittenhouse?" And he says, "No, I didn't." There's no pushback. The interviewer says, "Well, you can say whatever you want here," in a very sympathetic way, as if being under oath is some sort of onerous standard to hold him to tell the truth in court. This guy testified, everybody saw it, he testified under oath that yes, he did point the gun at Kyle Rittenhouse. The gun that he was carrying that everybody knows that he had, which he also had illegally, by the way. No pushback, just a very friendly interview. Now, you've all seen this. It's that tweet from LeBron James. He says, "What tears? I didn't see one. Man, knock it off. That boy ate some lemon heads before walking into court." So why does he think this? Now, do you think that LeBron James has watched any of the footage? Or do you think he just got a clip of Kyle Rittenhouse crying? Do you think he knows anything about this? I highly, highly doubt it. But he's been following the media narrative. I don't know, maybe he listened to Biden. Kyle Rittenhouse's mom blasts Biden, claims he defamed her son. And what happened? Well, Biden tried to tie Trump to Rittenhouse for political gain, obviously. That was in September of 2020. He had tweeted that there's no other way to put it. The President of the United States refused to disavow white supremacists on the debate stage last night. By the way, there's absolutely no evidence that Kyle Rittenhouse is that. That's just a made-up narrative. But anyway, that post from Biden, which includes a 50-second clip, refers to a question Fox News host Chris Wallace asked Trump during a presidential debate about whether he was willing to, quote, condemn white supremacists and militia groups in the wake of the unrest in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and other American cities. And the clip includes an image of Rittenhouse, 18, wielding a semi-automatic rifle. It's very clear what Biden was saying. But all of that said, yeah, it's clear the narrative is falling apart. I mean, will that prevent the mainstream media from using an acquittal to stoke riots and violence? Of course it won't. But I'll just end this off with somewhat of a hopeful note. I don't know if this is overblown or whether it really means anything, but there's a bunch of progressives that are waking up. This one's been making the rounds. I am highly educated and reasonably perceptive, and it was only today that I learned the Kyle Rittenhouse victims were white. My progressive bubble made this seem like a very different case than it is. That's intentional. That's why they keep throwing around white supremacist. How about this one? I was pretty shocked to learn many of the details over the past couple of weeks, too. Once I watched all the footage and learned some other details, I was like, and then a kind of shocked emoji there. I was also at the time in a progressive bubble. I've changed a lot since then, and I'm grateful for that. I learned this today as well. I just never really thought about it and assumed it was a race thing. That's what they want you to do. I told my wife that I went into this case assuming Kyle would be convicted, that the prosecutor would show that the deaths were unjustifiable. I have been shocked by what I have witnessed. So I don't know how many people this actually is, but hey, it's a start. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you just like to listen, there's the podcast Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform. If you look for it, you will find it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.